Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, and I want to talk about Porsha Williams from the Real Housewives of Atlanta being attacked aboard a Delta plane in the air, suspended in air. Quite scary. And also, we have audio. Someone called into Andy Cohen's podcast show where they know a person who was on Porsha's flight and they have given her the rundown. So before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this video, this audio, it is allowed. Okay. So shout out to the Bravo Snarky Side Instagram page. They have both the audio from Andy Cohen's podcast show, as well as basically written article from TMZ regarding the incident. Now, TMZ also had video of Porsha, getting off of the plane and walking through a portion of the Atlanta airport, but I'm not going to show TMZ's video. They'll totally flag this video. Bravo Snarkside, not Snarky. That is the name of the Instagram page, Bravo Snarkside. So I'm going to quickly go past this video of Porsha walking through the airport here because I don't want to trigger TMZ, but I'm going to read what they wrote in accompanying the video. So let's go ahead. Let's quickly forward. And it reads, Porsha Williams is clearing the air about a dramatic Delta Airlines flight that landed her on the FBI's radar. Her lawyer, Joe Hibachi, tells TMZ, Miss Williams was verbally assaulted by an irate and unhinged passenger without provocation. The passenger then proceeded to make false allegations that were in direct conflict with what happened. He added, as with any incident occurring aboard an aircraft, federal authorities are required to conduct an investigation involving all parties to determine what, if any, offenses occurred. Ms. Williams has every intention of cooperating with law enforcement to whatever extent necessary, and remains confident that the passenger will be charged. And it goes on to say, yesterday, a spokesperson for FBI Atlanta told TMZ that they were looking into whether or not federal charges applied to the incident involving the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams and at least one other person. Okay. So let's get into what the caller had to say on Andy Cohen's podcast show. When I initially saw this story from TMZ, if you follow me on Instagram, I shared it on my IG stories. I said, oh my gosh, did Porsha get into it with someone on the plane? I instantly wondered, was it a fan who attended BravoCon and they do not like Porsha? Was it someone just heckling her on the plane because they don't like her and they watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Was it someone who put two and two together, saw she was in Vegas, saw all of the BravoCon footage on Instagram, figured they wanted to spoil the end of her trip? I'm thinking that someone is just coming at her. So I wasn't too far off because someone is going to say that it's just like a random Karen who comes at Porsha. I do want to take a quick moment to acknowledge this very smart comment by a young lady, Monique. She says, this is why the Meredith story over on Salt Lake City is fishy. And she's talking about the women saying that Meredith Marks from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just verbally went in on their fellow cast member, Brittany, to where she was crying. She just could not wait to get off of the plane. She said that Meredith was pulling her hair, shaking her seat. And Meredith, of course, denies it all. She says that none of that happened. She said, if I did that, federal agents would have been waiting on me the moment our plane landed in Salt Lake City. So I have to say, especially given what has happened to Porsha, that what Meredith is saying does carry some weight. But let's go ahead and let's get into what this caller had to say.
Reading online that Portia's lawyer is saying that Porsha was verbally assaulted by an irate and unhinged passenger without provocation.
Yeah.
Lindsay from California is on
sounds
the
right.
phone. She knows someone who was on Portia's plane. Okay, so did your friend see anything?
So my mom's best friend was on the flight. She said she was 3 rows behind the incident. She didn't really see what started it, but she just heard a ruckus. And then she realized it was Porsha and this old, she described her as an old white Karen.
Uh-huh.
She just said she just kept claiming that Porsha hit her, but she said that she didn't see any of that happening. And yeah, she said that Porsha looked fabulous in her fur coat, and it was just crazy. But I'm like, okay, next time videotape it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really all we got. But she said it was just her antagonizing Porsha, and she didn't really see Porsha.
Her whole aura in the footage that I've seen has very much been 100% innocence, and I blame the white woman.
I do too. Thank you, Lindsay.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh my gosh. By the way, as we get into the news, reading online that Portia's lawyer is saying that Porsha was verbally assaulted by an irate and unhinged passenger without provocation.
Yeah.
Lindsay from California is on the
right.
phone. She knows someone who was on Portia's plane. Okay, so did your friend see anything?
So my mom's best friend was on the flight. She said she was 3 rows behind the incident. She didn't really see what started it, but she just heard a ruckus. And then she realized it was Porsha and this old, she described her as an old white Karen. She just said she just kept claiming that Porsha hit her, but she said that she didn't see any of that happening. And yeah, she said that Porsha looked fabulous in her fur coat, and it was just crazy. But I'm like, okay, next time videotape it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really all we got. But she said it was just her antagonizing Porsha, and she didn't really see Porsha.
Her whole aura in the footage that I've seen has very much been 100% innocence, and I blame the white woman.
I do too. Thank you, Lindsay.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh my gosh. By the way, as we
Okay, so that is what the caller had to say. Her mom's best friend was on the flight with Porsha, just 3 rows behind her, behind the incident. And she said that she didn't see anything physical. She didn't see Porsha put her hands on anyone. She just heard the old white Karen antagonizing Porsha. And I believe that account. And then Andy Cohen's co-host even said in that TMZ video, when Porsha is walking through the airport, her whole aura is not that of someone who started a fight or who, like, because she wasn't huffy and puffy. She's just like, I'm home, just breezing on through. And I think that that is a fair point as well. I think that that sucks, and I think that it's scary because who wants to be suspended in the air on an airplane and, someone is going off on you and you may have the need to defend yourself on an airplane. And then if it does land safely, then you got to deal with federal agents. So I think that it's so unfair. I'm just glad that no one was hurt. I'm glad that Porsha was not apprehended, was not taken into custody. And I just hope that everything works out in her favor. But what do you think about this situation? And what are the odds that we just saw the women on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City saying that Meredith Marks was going in on Brittany? The only one who said that it wasn't that bad was Lisa Barlow. But Brittany said that Lisa was also going off on her along with Meredith. And nothing happens to Meredith. But when that was Meredith's defense, I did think to myself, well, Meredith, you do have privilege on your side. You do have privilege and you're a woman, and when people do approach her like Meredith, I didn't like it when you did X, Y, and Z. If she doesn't start yelling back at you, which I can relate to, she will start crying. So she totally pulls out, that Karen wand right out of her magical bag of tricks when she wants to. So who knows as to why, if that really happened between Meredith and Brittany and why Meredith didn't get in any trouble. Porsha being approached by federal agents after the plane landed, although she did not provoke the fight, that does not surprise me for obvious reasons. So her skin color is nowhere near Meredith Marks. But yes, let me know in the comments, what do you all think about this situation? It could have gone left. I'm glad that no one was hurt. I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. My day was cool. It went by much smoother than Monday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. The thing about Wednesdays, once you're halfway through your work day, you're also halfway through the work week. And once the Wednesday work day is over, you've gotten through the majority of it. Thank goodness. So we're almost there, and we're all going to have a wonderful Wednesday. Before I started recording this video, I had dinner. I just had like the pasta with the marinara, and I made my overnight oats. I've washed up the dishes. The plan is to put on my sweats and go to the gym. So whatever you have to do tonight to have a smooth morning, go ahead and do it. You'll be so happy that you did. Try not to snooze your alarm so that you do not have to rush. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.